We're happy to have you again. The topic has not changed. It's about addictions. We want to understand what addictions are and mental illnesses in our communities. So, Mr. Kabanda, Allan, the topic is understanding addiction and mental illness in our communities. What is your story?
1999, yes, I was in Form 3. That's when I think I first saw friends smoking, but it didn't work. It didn't really please me. So fast forward 2000, I sat my Form 4 with just, the normal kid. Actually, before that, I was one of the best students. So that withstanding, it should be noted because it came along to play later on in life.
Sure.
So I started now smoking with friends. It was just peer pressure. Friends, hang out, seen each other for long. So when we joined the same school in A-level, that was 2001, 4, 5, that's when I started smoking. Being in school, occasionally get some jump out, get come smoke. It was just like a friend thing. Little did I know that if you had told me 20 years later that Allan would be an addict, I think I would have slapped because I wouldn't see it coming. So Form 5. Now with addiction, its continuity, every effect comes at that level you're in. If it is 1 year, there is always those things that you see in a person that do not work out. So with me, it was dodging class, being started to be, keep AI, kind of music sets in that was hip hop then. So all factors were at play for me to just get deeper into addiction. So fast forward into my Form 6, my whole HSC I had gone in at least 3 schools. So that shows you even the level of punctuality, regularity, and even consistency in school was becoming an issue. So in comes vacations, year 6, it was 2003. Now, my 2003 vacation, I think it just opened up everything. I was vacation, happy go life.
You had enough time.
I had enough time. So in the proper English, I blasted.
Wow. That's an interesting one, huh?
So I blasted, and it really took because it was bar after bar after bar. So now, then it was alcohol mixed with a little marijuana. Yes, but the marijuana kept on because alcohol is drunk usually during nights, and marijuana you can go
anytime
on the setting.
Anytime.
So I was graduating in both levels at the same time.
Okay.
Marijuana, alcohol, parties, 3-day binges, and you do not see trouble coming. So I was lucky to go to Makere, but I didn't continue with it. Stopped, I think, in my 3rd year, from 2nd year to 3rd year.
But then which course were you taking?
I was good mass communication.
Okay.
I was a very bright kid. Very bright kid. So, and so the partying continued from 1st year, 2nd year.
So at what point do you now get into that
Addiction.
moment of addiction? Now you have now become addicted.
There were bars here in Uganda in around 2002. So I think in vacation, when you see the level of frequency towards those things, when you see that by morning you're drinking, you're waking up to just go look for friends, and but addiction is a time when you feel now, every program of yours is affected by that habit. You have to first smoke, to go do something, even going as near as going to see a parent, and usually there's always deep hidden,
Traits.
factors that will lead you to smoking, but you don't realize that you could be a shy man, you could be just having a lot of inferiority complex, and yes. So I think it was, it became exaggerated in my Form 6 vacation. So in first year, now we are Rastas. There was a revolution around that time of people turning dreadlocks and what. So we all fell in.
So how do you come to
2005, Gaba Road was infested with Nigerians who were drilling in drugs. Yeah, so you see so now we had to graduate from, because the mind is so funny that once you've hit a certain point of ecstasy, it always wants that same level. So I needed something stronger to curb these heights, that,
level? Yes.
Yes. So in come heroin.
Wow.
Yes, and heroin is a powder, white as it is. So now, you see, some things attract you to addiction, the way things are smoked. Now, in marijuana, with weed, we used to just blaze like this. But with heroin, now it came a little of sophistication. These were now Nigerians. Generally, you are seeing all movie things come
True.
to life.
Yeah.
So here, there was a place that was so notorious of drugging people along Gaba Road. But I don't want to mention names. Yeah. So that bar was like a haven. So people would come from all places. Yeah. So we are the entertainers there. Sometimes DJ, sometimes not. So that's when the cocaine thing came in. Heroin was a little before the cocaine. So, and heroin had spread in Kampala, in Chisenyi, it was around by that time. So I had actually seen people taking heroin years before in my primary, but I really wouldn't, place. Yes. So when 2005 is when I started heroin, and it became so worse. That's now when I first. I told my guardians, my parents, I'm like, you know what? I think I've started something that I don't think I'll handle. I was that fast.
Were they effects like maybe you could easily tell?
Yeah, with heroin I lost like 10 kilos in 1 month. You see, with marijuana there is always some stimulants make you eat. You live quite a fast life of doing something here and there. But with heroin, it is purely, you become like docile. It's like a state of just being in a zombie state, they usually call it. So once heroin set in, loss of weight, you get depressed, and the depression comes from what did I do? What did I get engaged in? So up until 2009, when I think I saw Dr. Grace Bikumbi, and he was actually beginning his work. So I was one of the first people he talked to, but that didn't mean that my addiction had stopped.
So when you talk to your parents,
Yes.
what was the step taken?
My parents now, because heroin was a new drug, their whole, thing.
They didn't understand what you're talking
They
about.
didn't understand. If it were marijuana, they would blame me in the harshest words. Now with heroin, they were dumbfounded because they didn't know even what they were talking about. They were just seeing someone shrinking. Because heroin is so funny. In 3 days, you can just take a soda and a donut and mandas, and you feel very okay. You can even give some of that after a 3-day, hunger period. So that's what makes them lose it. And then the fact that you veer off the main way so fast. The main way, I mean the norms, the being a person with morals, so you veer off very fast because you also in your conscience you realize, you know what, this what I'm taking is a very dangerous road. Actually it's called a no test drug because 2-3 times, 1 week of taking it, you are gone. You are gone. There is no coming back. Yes. So I sought help from Dr. Grace. I'm trying to make it a little.
Yes,
so that,
that's okay. That's okay.
Yes. So I sought Dr. Grace. I've been in 5 rehabs. Some of the rehabs, they would even chase me, because once you would even go there, you'd master ways of trying to like jump over and go get behind. Yes. So up until in 2020, the government, through a program, initiated methadone. Methadone is a very good, effective substitute for opioid addiction. So it's a liquid. I went there and it's taken daily. So its administration also played in with the way we should come, take it, face the community. Come, take it, face the community. So ever since that time, of course, there have been relapses episodes, but I think I can gladly say that I'm now years clean.
Great. What are you doing currently?
Now I dedicated my, because of my faith, my newfound faith, I realized God really had, and it's a calling. So I purposefully go to schools, colleges, hospitals, institutions, rehabs, and my message is quite directly: you can make it, you can survive, you can. Because I realize now in our generation, the drugs have changed. It's no longer what is within schools here. So I try to engage them and know what they are taking. But since it all comes to one central theme, addiction, you have to deliver the message. So what I do is I go to schools, I go to communities, I go to radio stations, because I believe knowledge is power. You tell someone that thing, people are in communities and they do not know that alcohol is a drug. People are in communities and they think marijuana, because their parents smoked it or what, it is legally okay.
You know, deep in the village, my grandmother used to smoke marijuana.
Yes.
And I would ask myself later in the age, when I got to know that marijuana was a drug,
yes,
like, but why was Jaja smoking this?
And for centuries, for millennia, they've been in wrong. And no one has come to like tell them about the thing. Most of those people were dying of cancers and would think they have been bewitched and what. Yet those are the effects of drugging.
Wow.
Addiction is now needs for.
It's a serious kind of attention that we really need to give close focus.
Before I interject, it's just before I come in. At least 1 in 3 families in Uganda.
Thank you, dear listeners and viewers, for this moment of truth. We have had success stories for the transitioning persons from being addicts to the responsible and developmental Ugandans. We believe that the government of Uganda is doing whatever it takes to see that its population is a productive population. Confirmations from His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni have been that all Ugandans should find something to do. But as Dr. Bikumbi has stated, a mentally ill person or an addict cannot have the chance to sit, listen, do a productive work, and earn an income. For the strategy to drive all Ugandans into the money economy, it is really important, or it is very, very important that all Ugandans have a clear and stable mindset, or mental health, a clear and stable mental health, to be able to be productive humans, to serve this country, to participate in every government policy directions that are being implemented. Talk about the PDM, talk about Emyoga, and many others. I want to call upon all the youth, all the ghetto children, talk about people in the workspaces, teachers in schools, community leaders, to take note of these habits in our communities, because an addict is one person who cannot even survive for a minute before they take that substance that they have to take. Therefore, you'll see vices of theft in your community just because someone needs to go and buy a substance to take. You'll see lies just from a person to just survive. You'll see traits like of isolation just for someone to hide somewhere and take something. So you need to be keen and take charge of your families, take charge of your children, so that no chance is left for these addictions to thrive. But we get hold on to them and sort our communities. I want to thank you all for staying with us on the Citizen Baraza at the Government Citizen Interaction Center, an open government initiative that brings you information. We build a gap for information. Thank you.